I always wonder how long it's going to take before we get our first good movie of the year. Well, we've got one. Kinda. Warm Bodies, the romantic story of a girl and her zombie that falls in love with her. That's what we're going for here. I've heard it called a rom-com. I've heard it called a zom-com, zombie comedy. I've heard it called a rom-zom-com. The question is it a bomb? And the answer, not really. There's actually some stuff to like here. Now, first, let me say, suspension of disbelief is key in this movie. Obviously, you have to go in, drop that at the door and say, okay, I give in to this universe that you're creating for me. Now, within that universe, I think it works. Once you've given in and said, okay, I'm willing to suspend my disbelief, I think they do a great job in this movie of developing this zombie culture that really feels real in the presentation that you're given. And not only that, but they find this perfect way, this perfect balance of taking it just seriously enough. So it doesn't feel like they're making too much fun of themselves. It allows for there to be some really emotional beats in this movie. And at the same time, it doesn't feel like they're taking themselves so seriously that we're supposed to take everything here seriously. It's got just the right amount of kind of that lightheartedness. This is maybe a little much, but it reminded me of Princess Bride in some ways. Just kind of that, that real lightness and yet at the same time buying into the story. Of course, there is no bookend here of a grandfather telling his son a story. We're actually just supposed to buy into this world, which if you do, I think you may have some fun with it. I will say this, it does get slow at times, and the reason it's not a great movie, the reason it's only kind of a good movie, is because there just could have been some better movie making done here. But I have to tell you, the performances are really, really good. It sounds ridiculous that you could think there could be a romance between a zombie and a non-zombie, but they make it work and you feel for these characters in this place. I will say the one bad thing about this movie, the thing that I really didn't like plot-wise, is they introduced this secondary type of zombie that is, they call them bonies, I think, and they're the evil zombies that we don't care about if they ever live or die. And they do that in order to make us care about the other zombies that we want to live and we want to get better. The problem is they're the same. There's no plot difference between them other than they've progressed further. And that causes some intellectual kind of cognitive dissonance where you're like, but how are they different? Why aren't we rooting for them to get better too? Why are we just rooting for these guys? And I don't think it was necessary. That's the thing I come away with. I don't think you needed those villains. I think you were fine with just the zombies and the humans and making it work that way. Whatever the case, this Romeo and Juliet version of zombie life does work, even if it's not perfect.